Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen someone who walks into a room and they just light it up? It's not because they try to be like everyone else, but because they embrace who they truly are. Today, I want to share 6 principles about what it means to be different and how that uniqueness can be the source of your greatest strength and light. Being different is not a flaw, it's a gift, a profound and irreplaceable gift. Yet, in a world where conformity often feels like the safest path, embracing what makes us unique can be a challenge. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that standing out is risky, that it invites judgment or misunderstanding. This mindset, however, couldn't be further from the truth. The very essence of who you are, your quirks, your talents, your perspective is what makes you valuable. The world doesn't need duplicates. It needs authenticity. It needs you. Think about it for a moment. What if every flower in a field looked exactly the same? The beauty of nature lies in its variety, the countless shapes, colors, and patterns that come together to create a masterpiece. You too are part of a larger masterpiece. Your individuality contributes to the richness of the world. Just as every flower is unique, every person is unique. Your uniqueness is like a fingerprint, a one-of-a-kind mark that signifies there's no one else who can bring to the world what you can. And yet many people spend their lives trying to hide what makes them different. They downplay their strengths, silence their passions, or try to blend into the background to avoid standing out. But here's the truth: the world isn't enriched by sameness. It's enriched by those who dare to be themselves. When you embrace your uniqueness, you're not just claiming your space in the world, you're showing others that it's okay for them to do the same. Embracing your uniqueness begins with self-awareness. It means taking the time to understand who you are, what you value, and what sets your heart on fire. This self-awareness isn't about focusing on what others think you should be. It's about uncovering the truth of who you already are. Maybe you're someone who sees the world differently. Maybe you approach challenges with creativity when others rely on logic. Maybe you have a quiet strength that others overlook, or a bold spirit that inspires those around you. Whatever it is, it's yours and it's worth celebrating. But self-awareness alone isn't enough. Once you recognize what makes you unique, the next step is to own it. Owning your uniqueness means accepting yourself fully, not just the parts that are easy to love, but also the parts you've struggled with. It means reframing what you once saw as flaws and understanding that they are often your greatest strengths in disguise. Maybe you've been told you're too sensitive, but that sensitivity allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. Maybe you've been called stubborn, but that determination helps you achieve your goals. The traits that make you different are often the very traits that make you powerful. Owning your uniqueness also means giving yourself permission to shine. It's not about arrogance or seeking attention, it's about stepping into your true self with confidence and purpose. When you do this, something incredible happens. You begin to attract opportunities that align with who you are. People are drawn to authenticity because it's rare, and when you show up as your authentic self, you inspire trust, respect, and admiration. It's important to remember that embracing your uniqueness isn't a one-time decision, it's a lifelong practice. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when the pressure to conform feels overwhelming. In those moments, remind yourself that the world doesn't need more of the same. It needs you. The challenges you face as a result of being different are not signs that you're on the wrong path, they're signs that you're forging your own. And that's something to be proud of. The beauty of embracing your uniqueness is that it doesn't just impact you, it impacts everyone around you. When you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. You become a beacon of possibility, showing others that it's okay to be who they are. This ripple effect is powerful. By embracing what makes you different, you create a world where diversity is celebrated, where people feel free to express themselves, and where authenticity becomes the norm. So, the next time you're tempted to downplay what makes you different, remember this: your uniqueness is not a weakness, it's your superpower. It's the reason you're here. It's the gift you bring to the world. Embrace it fully, unapologetically, and with gratitude. Because when you do, you don't just make your own life richer, you make the world a brighter, more vibrant place for everyone. To shine in life, you must stand for something. Without a foundation of values, you can easily be swayed by the opinions and expectations of others, losing sight of who you are and what truly matters to you. It's easy to follow the crowd, to take the path that everyone else is walking, but that's not where real strength lies. True strength comes from staying true to your principles, even when it feels like the whole world is going in the opposite direction. It's not always the easiest road, but it is the most rewarding one. I think about the people you admire, most the ones who inspire you, who leave a lasting impact. What makes them stand out isn't just their accomplishments or charisma. It's their unwavering commitment to their values. They don't compromise their principles for convenience or popularity. They hold firm, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means standing alone. That's what makes them shine. They become a source of light in the darkness, a beacon for others to follow. They remind us that it's possible to live with integrity in a world that often encourages us to compromise. Standing tall in your values requires clarity. You have to know what you believe in and why. It's not enough to adopt the values of those around you. Your principles must come from within. Take the time to reflect on what matters most to you. Is it honesty, compassion, hard work? Whatever it is, define it clearly and let it guide your decisions. Your values are like a compass, always pointing you toward your true north. Without them, it's easy to get lost, to drift aimlessly without purpose or direction. But having values isn't enough, you must live them. Living your values means aligning your actions with your beliefs, even when it's inconvenient or difficult. It means saying no to opportunities that conflict with your principles, even when they seem appealing on the surface. It means standing up for what's right, even when it's unpopular. This kind of integrity takes courage, but it also brings a sense of peace and fulfillment that can't be achieved any other way. When your actions reflect your values, you create a life that feels authentic and meaningful. There will be times when staying true to your values feels like an uphill battle. You may face criticism, rejection, or even hostility. It's during these moments that your strength is truly tested. Will you bend under pressure or will you hold firm? Remember, the brightest stars don't follow the path of least resistance. They cut through the darkness with their own light. The challenges you face when standing tall in your values are not obstacles to avoid, their opportunities to grow. Each time you choose to stand firm, you become stronger, more resilient, and more confident in who you are. What's remarkable about standing tall in your values is the impact it has on others. When you live with integrity, you inspire those around you to do the same. Your actions become a powerful example of what it means to lead a principled life. People notice when someone refuses to compromise their beliefs, and they're drawn to that kind of strength. By staying true to your values, you don't just elevate your own life, you elevate those around you as well. You create a ripple effect of authenticity and courage that extends far beyond yourself. Standing tall in your values is not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes or having all the answers. It's about making a commitment to live in alignment with what you believe and striving to do so every day. It's about learning from the times you fall short and using those experiences to grow. Your values are not static, they evolve as you do. The important thing is to remain intentional, to continuously check in with yourself, ensure that your actions reflect the person you want to be. In the end, standing tall in your values is what allows you to shine. It gives you a sense of purpose and direction that can't be shaken by external circumstances. It helps you build a life that feels true to who you are. And perhaps most importantly, it gives you the strength to navigate the inevitable challenges and uncertainties of life with grace and confidence. When you stand for something, you create a solid foundation for everything else in your life. You become a beacon of light, cutting through the darkness and inspiring others to find their own way. That is the power of staying true to your values. What some see as flaws, you can see as power. This simple shift in perspective has the potential to change everything. Too often, people are quick to label their differences as weaknesses. Maybe someone is quieter than the rest, and they think that means they lack confidence. Maybe someone has big dreams that others find unrealistic, so they feel out of place. But these so-called flaws are not limitations, they are unique qualities waiting to be transformed into strengths. The key lies in understanding them, owning them, and using them to grow. Every person has vulnerabilities, qualities, or traits that make them feel exposed or uncertain in certain situations. These vulnerabilities are often the very things that make someone special. Consider the person who is quiet in a world that values loudness. While others may misinterpret their silence as a lack of confidence, that quietness often comes with an extraordinary ability to observe, to listen, and to understand. The person who dreams big, even when others dismiss those dreams as impractical, possesses a vision and ambition that can open doors to possibilities others can't even imagine. These differences, when embraced, can become the foundation for greatness. Owning your vulnerabilities begins with self-acceptance. It requires looking at the parts of yourself that you've been taught to hide or downplay and recognizing their value. This isn't always easy, especially in a world that tends to celebrate certain traits while dismissing others. But the truth is, your vulnerabilities are part of what makes you human. They are what make you relatable and real. When you stop seeing them as flaws and start seeing them as opportunities, you unlock their potential. Once you've accepted your vulnerabilities, the next step is to use them. This means finding ways to leverage your unique traits to your advantage. For example, the person who is naturally sensitive might use that sensitivity to build deeper connections with others, showing empathy and understanding that others might lack. The person who dreams big can channel that vision into innovative ideas or bold projects that inspire others. Vulnerabilities become strengths when they are put to work in service of your goals and values. Of course, turning vulnerabilities into strengths isn't a one-time process. It's an ongoing journey of growth and self-discovery. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and to refine your approach. Maybe you struggle with self-doubt, but over time you develop the courage to take risks and prove to yourself what you're capable of. Maybe you felt like an outsider, but through your experiences, you cultivate a unique perspective that allows you to solve problems in ways others can't. Growth comes from embracing your vulnerabilities, not avoiding them. It's also important to remember that what you see as a vulnerability, others may see as a strength. The qualities you've been criticized for may be the very qualities that set you apart in a positive way. Think about the innovators, leaders, and trailblazers throughout history. Many of them were misunderstood or underestimated because they didn't fit the mold. But instead of trying to conform, they leaned into their differences. They turned their vulnerabilities into the driving force behind their success. When you transform your vulnerabilities into strengths, you don't just change the way you see yourself, you change the way others see you too. People are drawn to authenticity and courage. When you embrace your true self, flaws and all, you inspire others to do the same. Your willingness to own your vulnerability shows others that it's okay to be imperfect, that it's okay to be human. In this way, your personal growth creates a ripple effect, empowering those around you to grow as well. The journey of turning vulnerabilities into strengths is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It requires patience, resilience, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. But each step you take brings you closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Each time you choose to own your differences instead of hiding them, you gain confidence and clarity. Each time you use your unique qualities to overcome a challenge, you prove to yourself that your vulnerabilities are not weaknesses, they are sources of strength. The thing that sets you apart may very well be the thing that leads you to greatness. Your vulnerabilities are not something to be ashamed of, They are something to be celebrated. They are the raw material from which your greatest strengths can be built. When you embrace them fully, when you use them wisely, and when you grow from them continuously, you become unstoppable. What others see as flaws, you see as power, and that makes all the difference. Here's the truth: being different isn't enough on its own. While your uniqueness is an incredible foundation, it needs refinement to reach its full potential. It's like a diamond buried deep within the earth. In its raw state, it has value, but its true brilliance is revealed only through shaping, cutting, and polishing. That transformation doesn't happen by chance. It happens through intentional effort, consistent work, and a commitment to growth every single day. Growth isn't a one-time decision or a sporadic effort. It's a continuous process, a daily choice to push yourself beyond where you were yesterday. It requires a mindset that sees every experience as an opportunity to learn and every challenge as a chance to evolve. This mindset is essential because no matter how unique or talented you are, the potential within you remains untapped until you put in the work to develop it. Growth is the bridge between who you are today and who you have the capacity to become. The first step in committing to growth is recognizing that it doesn't happen by accident. Growth is intentional. It requires setting aside time and energy to focus on the areas where you want to improve. It's about identifying your strengths and building on them, as well as acknowledging your weaknesses and addressing them. It might mean learning a new skill, seeking out mentorship, or stepping out of your comfort zone to face challenges that push your boundaries. Whatever it is, the commitment to grow must be deliberate and consistent. Every day offers countless opportunities for growth, but they're easy to overlook if you're not paying attention. Growth doesn't always come in grand, life-changing moments. More often it's found in the small, seemingly mundane choices you make daily. Do you choose to learn something new or stick with what you already know? Do you take the risk of trying something difficult, or do you play it safe? These small decisions, compounded over time, determine the trajectory of your personal and professional development. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. Even the smallest steps, when taken consistently, add up to significant change. Another important aspect of growth is embracing discomfort. Growth often requires you to face uncertainty, tackle unfamiliar situations, and stretch yourself beyond what feels easy or natural. It's tempting to avoid these moments because they can be uncomfortable, even intimidating. But just like the diamond that is formed under pressure, your greatest growth often comes from your most challenging experiences. Every time you choose to face a challenge rather than run from it, you become stronger, more resilient, and more capable. Commitment to growth also means being open to feedback and willing to adapt. Growth requires humility, the ability to acknowledge that you don't have all the answers, and that there's always room to learn. Constructive criticism, when received with an open mind, becomes a powerful tool for improvement. Instead of seeing feedback as a threat to your self-esteem, view it as a valuable resource for shaping yourself into the best version of who you can be. Another critical component of daily growth is consistency. Growth isn't about occasional bursts of effort, it's about showing up every single day. It's the commitment to keep going even when progress feels slow or invisible. It's about having the discipline to stick to your goals even when motivation wanes. Consistency builds momentum, and over time that momentum leads to transformation. The person who commits to steady, incremental growth every day will outshine the person who relies on short bursts of enthusiasm. Finally, growth is not just about achieving a goal or reaching a destination, it's about embracing the process itself. When you commit to growth, you begin to see life as an ongoing journey of discovery and improvement. You realize that every experience, whether it feels like a success or a setback, is an opportunity to learn something valuable. This mindset keeps you curious, motivated, and open to new possibilities. Growth becomes not just something you do, but a part of who you are. Your journey to shine requires the same commitment as the diamond's transformation. It's about putting in the time, effort, and energy to refine yourself every day. It's about believing in your potential and taking consistent action to unlock it. When you commit to growth every day, you don't just improve, you evolve. You become a brighter, stronger, more capable version of yourself. And in doing so, you inspire others to commit to their own growth as well. That's the power of making growth a daily habit. It's not just a commitment to becoming better, it's a commitment to becoming your best. You don't need to declare to the world that you're different. In fact, the loudest declaration you can make isn't made with words, it's made with action. Let your actions be the proof of who you are. Let them reflect your values, your passion, and your individuality. People are drawn not to empty proclamations, but to the undeniable evidence of someone living authentically and purposefully. When your work, your kindness, and your results shine, they send a message far more powerful than words ever could. This is how you inspire others, not by telling them, but by showing them. True inspiration comes from authenticity. When people see you living in alignment with your values and embracing your uniqueness, they are naturally drawn to it. It's not about perfection or putting on a performance, it's about being real. People aren't inspired by those who pretend to have it all figured out, they're inspired by those who embrace the journey, who show up every day with courage and commitment. By being yourself and staying true to your principles, you show others what's possible when someone chooses to live authentically. One of the most powerful ways to inspire others is through the work you do. Your work is an extension of who you are. When you approach it with passion, dedication, and a commitment to excellence, it speaks volumes. Whether you're creating art, solving problems, leading a team, or building a business, the way you approach your work can serve as a source of motivation for others. People notice when someone puts their heart and soul into what they do. They see the difference in the results, and they feel the energy and enthusiasm behind it. Your work becomes a testament to what's possible when someone is fully invested in their purpose. But inspiration doesn't stop at work. It's also about the way you treat people. Kindness, respect, and genuine care for others are some of the most impactful ways to lead by example. In a world that can often feel cold or competitive, treating people with compassion and understanding is a powerful way to stand out. Your actions toward others create a ripple effect. When someone experiences kindness or encouragement from you, they're more likely to pass it on to someone else. Over time, these small actions can create a significant impact. The way you handle challenges and setbacks is another opportunity to inspire. Everyone faces difficulties, but not everyone handles them the same way. When you approach challenges with resilience, grace, and determination, you show others that it's possible to overcome obstacles without losing yourself in the process. People are inspired by those who can rise above adversity, who can find solutions, and who can keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. By navigating your struggles with strength and integrity, you give others the courage to face their own. Your ability to inspire others isn't limited to grand gestures or public achievements. Often it's the small, consistent actions that have the biggest impact. It's the way you show up every day, the way you pursue your goals, and the way you stay true to your principles. It's the example you set in your everyday life that leaves a lasting impression. Leadership isn't about commanding attention or demanding respect, it's about earning it through your actions. When others see you leading by example, they feel empowered to do the same. The beauty of inspiring others through action is that it creates a cycle of positivity and growth. When you embrace your individuality and thrive because of it, you give others permission to do the same. Your success becomes a source of encouragement for those who might be hesitant to step into their own potential. When people see you living authentically and achieving success on your own terms, they start to believe that they can too. Inspiration is contagious, but it starts with you. By focusing on your own growth, staying true to your values, and striving to make a positive impact, you create a ripple effect that touches everyone around you. Your actions become a source of light in a world that often feels dark. You show people what's possible, not by telling them, but by living it. And in doing so, you not only change your own life, you inspire others to change theirs as well. Leadership, at its core, is about showing, not commanding. And when you lead through action, you inspire others to follow not because they have to, but because they want to. Shining isn't something that just happens. It's a decision, a conscious choice that you make every single day. The choice to embrace your individuality, to step into your potential, and to let your light shine. Every morning you wake up with the power to decide how you will show up in the world. Will you allow self-doubt or fear to keep you hidden, or will you step forward and be the person you're meant to be? This decision, made day after day, is what ultimately shapes your life and the impact you have on others. The truth is, no one can take your light away unless you let them. Your ability to shine comes from within, and it's not dependent on external circumstances or approval from others. It's about choosing to believe in your worth and your potential, regardless of what others may think or say. It's about recognizing that your uniqueness is a gift, not something to hide or be ashamed of. Once you make the decision to let your light shine, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. This decision is not always an easy one. There are moments of doubt, fear, and uncertainty, times when the world may seem overwhelming or unsupportive. But remember, your decision to shine doesn't mean everything will always be perfect. It means choosing to move forward with courage even when things feel tough. It's choosing to show up as your authentic self, even when it's uncomfortable or risky. It's understanding that the process of shining is about being true to who you are, not about being flawless or meeting others' expectations. Shining is a daily commitment. Some days it may feel easier to retreat or to hide in the shadows. But the beauty of choosing to shine is that it becomes a habit, a way of life. The more you make the decision to show up as your true self, the easier it becomes. Over time, you build momentum, and what once felt like a difficult choice becomes second nature. Shining becomes a part of your identity, something that radiates effortlessly from within. The impact of choosing to shine extends far beyond yourself. When you decide to embrace your uniqueness and let your light shine, you give others permission to do the same. People around you are inspired by your authenticity, your courage, and your commitment to being the best version of yourself. They see you thriving, and it encourages them to take that same step in their own lives. You become a role model without even trying, simply by being unapologetically yourself. This ripple effect is one of the most powerful ways to inspire others. Your choice to shine doesn't just elevate your own life, it elevates the lives of those around you as well. It's important to understand that shining doesn't mean you have to be the loudest or the most attention-grabbing person in the room. It doesn't mean seeking validation or trying to prove something to others. Shining is about living authentically and confidently, regardless of external recognition. It's about knowing that your light is enough and that you don't need anyone's approval to be who you are. When you shine, it's not for the applause or the admiration, it's because you know that this is your true purpose, to be the person you were always meant to be. Choosing to shine is also an act of self-love. It's about accepting yourself fully, flaws and all, and deciding that you are worthy of the light you carry. When you show up authentically, you stop hiding behind the masks or the expectations others have placed on you. Instead, you step into your full potential, knowing that you are enough just as you are. This self-acceptance is empowering. It frees you from the constant need for approval and allows you to focus on what truly matters, living a life that aligns with your values and purpose. The most beautiful part of shining is that it's not a finite resource. The more you shine, the more light you create, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Your decision to show up authentically has the power to inspire, uplift, and transform. You become a beacon of possibility for others, showing them that they too have the power to shine in their own way. The world becomes brighter because you chose to let your light shine, and in doing so, you give others the courage to let theirs shine as well. Shining is a choice, one that you make every single day. It's about embracing your individuality, stepping into your full potential, and living authentically. When you choose to shine, you don't just light up your own life, you light up the lives of everyone around you. Your decision to be unapologetically yourself gives others permission to do the same. And that is a powerful, transformative gift that keeps on giving. Ladies and gentlemen, she's different, and that's what makes her shine. But this isn't just about her, it's about all of us. Each of us has something unique, something special that can light up the world. The question is, will you embrace it? Will you refine it? And most importantly, will you let it shine? The choice is yours. Thank you.